never leave a client's WhatsApp. So the very first thing when you are consulting, remember, consulting is the practice of helping. So the very first thing when you are helping, you want the client to be better. You want them to move from where they are to where they should be. So it's critical when we start any consulting assignment. We want the client to be better. We want them to have better results. We want them to have better systems. We want them to have better people. We want them to change. That is all consulting. We're introducing something new to them. That is consulting. Okay? So always remember this. Never leave a client worse off. Let your intervention lead them to a better place. That is consulting. Always leading them to a better place. That is consulting. So consulting is a practice of helping organizations to improve performances, to improve their deliverables. How? By analyzing whatever problems they have and coming up with plans for their improvement. So there are several things. You want to improve them, you have to analyze what they are going through now in order to arrive at what you need to provide as solution to help them, okay? To help them. So that's very critical. I want us to remember. So consulting, if we expand that definition, consulting is the practice of helping individuals and organizations. And remember, I said to you, when you start out, your likely set of interest is going to come from people and friends and families. That's why I said individuals. And then organizations, the big organizations. And then critically, in improving their performances, you look at their present performances. And you cannot just start by looking at the present performances. You need to look at where they are coming from. So to carry out any improvement, there are 3 areas you got to look at. Where they are coming from, where they are now, and what your present implementation or solutions will do for the future. So when we are consulting, we are focused on 3 areas. Even once you want to improve their present performance, it may well be that they've only paid you, help us solve this problem. But you cannot solve that problem without looking at their past. How did they get there? So that we don't repeat the mistakes of the past. How did they get there? So you look at their past, sort out the present, and then make sure that the solution that you are giving them for the present can last into the future. That is consulting. Okay? And we do that not just by looking at what they are going through the analysis of existing and potential problems. So when you engage as a consultant, you don't just look at what they are going through. Look at what they may go through in the future. And when you are writing your recommendations, you can say that, well, your assignment is limited to ABC, but there are things you have seen that might be a problem in the future. What are you doing? You're analyzing existing and potential problems. And it's good for you as a consultant. If you can identify potential problems, then they may even assign you or brief you to look into that in addition to the work you are doing now. And then finally, it is the development, not just development and or execution. When I say and or, you don't have to execute the plan. It may just be that you have prepared a plan, you give it to the client, and then they execute it. Many people think implementing or executing the plan is consulting. No, I emphasized this in the last class. The very fact that you have done advisory, that you advise them of how they got into the situation is consulting. Moving beyond advising them how they got into the situation and providing solutions to, it is consulting. Implementing the solutions to as well is consulting. So consulting doesn't have to be, oh, you have identified the problem, you have come up with a solution, you have sorted out the problem. The very fact that you are able to identify the problem is consulting as a solution. So when you're offering consulting solutions, there are 3 options. When a client comes to you, you tell them, look, we can deliver solutions at 3 levels. So you can simply advise you, do a root cause analysis, find out how you got to where you are, and tell you what is the root cause of the problem. and you end the assignment there. That is consulting. That as well is consulting. Beyond just advising them and telling them the root cause, but pointing out at potential solutions that they could implement. That too is consulting. And your assignment can end there. They pay you and you go your way. Another type of consulting is the third one, which involves not just analyzing, but coming up with solutions and implementing. So when you're talking to your clients, always remember that consulting can be at 3 levels. Okay? Consulting can be delivered at 3 levels. For me, that's the most important thing I can pass across in level 1. The other thing I want to communicate to you in level 1 is what I call consultancy orientation. Consultancy orientation. Every assignment you get, you can wear 3 hats. You can be an expert consultant within the same assignment. So these are 3 different ways you can implement a consulting assignment. You can implement it as an expert. I will explain all 3. You can implement it using what we call the doctor-patient model. And at the same time, you can implement it using what we call process consulting. Now, if a client comes to you and says, look, this is the problem, we don't have a clue, help us. Why? Because maybe that's your specialist area. Then you are taking on the hat of an expert consultant. The client comes to you and says, we transfer the problem to you. Just so when you sort it out, come back to us. When you sort out this problem, when you implement it, then you approach that as an expert. Now, the other option is what we call the doctor-patient model. The client comes to you and you realize that the only way to get a solution to this client is if you ask questions, ask the client. We call it the doctor-patient model. It's just like you go to the doctors, you complain of an headache, they're not just going to straight away give you medication. They would ask you questions. Likewise, as consultants, there's a model called doctor-patient model when we're implementing consulting assignments by asking the client. So the third one is what we call process consulting. The client still owns the problem, but they need you to drive it for them. They need you to, because they don't have time, they don't have the resources, they need you to drive the process for them. Most times when we are doing training, we are doing process consulting. Process consulting is the client owns the problem and continues to do so, but you are the driver. So always remember this. In any consulting assignment, at some point you could be the expert. At some point, you can use the doctor-patient model. And at some point, you can use the process model. And it's always good if, even though you are the expert, you may still need insights from the client. And that is when you need those insights, you ask questions, you interview them, you observe them, and that's what we call the doctor-patient model, okay? For me, those are the important things you need to remember for Module 1. Module 2, we looked at the skills, the competencies you need as a consultant, what you need to be able to do as a consultant. So I want to go through that. Number 1, you need what we call the client's business insights. The client's business insight. There's no way you can consult for somebody if you don't know the company. So the first thing under consulting competency is knowledge of the client's business. So good practice is when the client gives you an assignment and you have agreed to terms and everything, take some time to study the client. Study the business of the client, study who they are selling to, study what they are selling, study their markets, who are the competition, who are the business leader, what are their business process. Study everything about the client. The more you know about the client, the more knowledgeable you are about the client, the better you can help them. Okay? The more knowledgeable you are about the clients, the better the chances that you can help them. Okay? Very critical. So study the clients is number 1. Then number 2, also study the client's business environment. There might be new policies. There might be economic indices. There might be social reasons. There might be technological reasons or environmental or legal. This is a model called the PESTLE framework. When we are assessing a company, looking at what they are going through, we ask all these questions using this framework, asking, is there a P? A P stands for political reason why this company is going through what they are going through. You ask, is there an economic reason? Is there a social reason? Is there a technological reason behind what they are going through? Is there an environmental reason that is affecting them? Is there a legal reason? I give you an example. We had a client that was importing from Ghana. When the government of Nigeria closed the border, they had to be importing those things by flight. And that meant their cost of production went up, and of course their prices. So when they were struggling in the industry, they looked at, what are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? Until we analyzed that, look, you're not doing anything wrong. It's just that your cost has gone up and has made you not as competitive. And the reason why your cost has gone up is because you're not flying your products. You're not driving them through the borders anymore. I've got to get someone to turn on the light. My light has just quenched. So just give me a minute, please. Just give me a minute. Just a minute, please. Trying to get someone to sort this out. So it's critical that beyond understanding the client, you also understand what might be going through around them. And this is a template, if you like, a framework for asking the right questions. The other thing that you need to know that is very critical is what I call the commercial nature of the assignment. The commercial nature of the assignment. And there are three things really when we talk about commercial nature of the assignment. Number one, what does the client want? That is understanding the client's expectation. It's called understanding the client. So critically, you cannot carry out consulting without clearly identifying what the client wants. And one basic question you can ask that can help is by simply saying, what would success look like? What would success look like? At the end of this assignment, what do you want to achieve? What will success look like? That's the most important question to identify client expectation. On the strength of that, you're now telling the client, this is what we do. So the client says, this is what we are expecting. And then you respond with your client. All of these are in the contract. You respond with how you will deliver the assignment, all in a contract. So the contract at times is called TOR, or terms of reference. This is very key. Don't start any consulting assignment without clearly defining the terms of reference. The term of reference will say what the client wants, what the client wants you to do, as well as the contractual terms, the money, the scope of the scope. And like I told you, not just the scope, out of scope. Please don't assume, always, most clients will tell you what the scope is, but you, as a consultant, emphasize what is not in scope. Very critical. Always emphasize what is not in scope. Simply saying, this is what we are doing, and this is what we are not doing. Very, very critical. From my experience, if you don't do that and something comes up in future that needed to have been covered, the clients will blame you. That after all, you are the consultant, you need to know what is out of scope. So under competencies, we have looked at business insights, understanding the client's business. We have looked at that, it's very key. We have looked at understanding, using the template to find out if there might be anything that has led to where the client is. And then number three, understanding the contracts. The second aspect of expertise that you need to have is what we call technical expertise. Technical expertise. You must have technical expertise. What are those technical competencies? Again, I'll go through them. Number one, there's what we call sectorial knowledge. Sectorial knowledge. You must be an expert in one area. You may now use that competency across different businesses. For instance, if you want to be an expert in guidance counseling, you can be an expert in guidance counseling. You can use it for nursery school. You can use it for primary school. You can use it for secondary school. You can use it in universities. You can use it for the state government education board. You can use it for national. But you must be a sectorial expert. What sectorial expert are you? And then you can use it across all industry. If you're a legal expert, you're a legal expert. And as a legal expert, you can use it across industry. Is it transport? Is it communication? Is it government? Agriculture? Is it education? You can use that. But you must be a sectoral expert. Another key skill you must have is ability to analyze. Because as consultants, you get a lot of data. And it's critical that you're able to analyze those data. Another major skill that you have or you need is what we call problem solving. Problem solving is a major skill you must have. Problem solving. And I told you, when you have a consultancy assignment, the first thing you do is you develop a problem statement. Your problem, if you look at this second slide here, you see, can you see that there? Look at this second slide. So the very first thing we do is what we call problem definition. What exactly is the problem? Now, remember this. Most times when clients are talking to us, they are talking to us from the standpoint of what they can see. They are talking to us from the point of what they can see, not necessarily what has led to what they can see. As consultants, we are much more interested in what has led to what they can see, not what they are seeing right now. If you try to solve what they can see right now, you may not be solving what led to what they are seeing. Please, this is very important. And that is why it's critical to identify the problem first. Once you've identified the problem, and that's why we looked at two things. If you remember, we looked at the 5 whys, and then we looked at root cause analysis, the 5 whys. One of the most important tools for you as a consultant is what we call the 5 whys. When you ask questions up to 5 levels, it's called the 5 whys. If you can't remember, please watch the video. All of these things I'm saying are in the video. So problem solving is very key as a tool for a consultant. Innovation is key. New product development is key. All these are very, very key. These are the things we covered in module 1. Okay. Any questions before I go straight to module 3? Any questions? I've taken time to go over what we have learned or we have been teaching in the last 2 weeks. We didn't do class last week. So that's why I'm trying to bring us up to date. So I want to go to the 3rd module today, which is business modeling. And I think we started on that. Can't remember where we stopped. Business modeling. Yes, I think can we switch off our microphone? Who is this? Who is Vivo? Vivo? Who is Vivo? Please, who is Vivo? Who?
Usoro Ebong Ekanem.
Ekanem. Okay. I don't know who you are, but let's leave that for now. Please mute your microphone. Okay. So, any question, please? Before any questions, please? Please ask me questions, please. Any questions on what we have looked at so far? Modules 1 and 2. I'm trying to pick up from where we left in module. I think I can go to module 3 now. Any questions, please? No questions? Module 3. I'm trying to call up the slide. Please bear with me. Sorry, I'm trying to call up the slide, please, for module 3. But do you have any questions, please? Yes, Rudolph, please.
Good morning, Mr.
Morning,
good morning, Mr. Shola, and good morning, everyone. Okay, my question really has to do with the SOC website.
Okay.
I'd asked how do we register on that website? I don't think I got an answer on the WhatsApp platform. Then I also wanted to know how to join the Pan-African consulting body. I didn't get.
Okay. I said I will come back to you. The Pan-African consulting body are trying to sort themselves out. They're trying to complete the registration. That's why there's a delay in taking in new people. That's for that. For the School of Consulting, I sent the link to you, sir, where you can register. And I think you registered and I've confirmed your registration on the school. Please check your email. I've confirmed it.
Okay, all right. Thank you. I'll do that. Thank you. I'm grateful.
Please check that, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. So let's look at module 3. Any other question, please? Where's my module 3? So this thing is not coming up. So my module 3 is how do we, having defined, in fact, let me review module 2, because module 2, I looked at business modeling. Who can remember what business modeling is? When we looked at the business model canvas, all of these are very important backgrounds, please. That's why I'm taking my time. Who remembers when we did business modeling? Please, who can remember? Who remembers? We looked at business modeling. Let me go there. All of these are important foundations before you start consulting, please. So that's why I'm taking my time to go over it again, so that there's retention of knowledge, please. I don't want to rush it. There's learning. So let's go to business model canvas. And I think that's where we stopped. Can you remember this? Where I explained the 9 things you need to consider for your consulting business before you start. Okay? And I said, if you remember, I said start with value proposition. Start with value proposition, go to customer segment, go to customer relationship, go to channels, then you can go to key partners, key activities, key resources, cost structure, and revenue stream. Please, 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 if you can't remember that or you missed the class, please go and watch the video, okay? Go and watch the video. All right. Now let's go to securing consulting assignments. Any question on that, please? How do you secure consulting assignments? How do you secure consulting assignments? That's what I want us to look at today. How do you secure consulting assignments? First, we started by looking at, oh, you have designed, you understand consulting, you have designed your consulting business. So the next thing is, having designed your consulting business, how do we secure consulting assignments? There is a process to it. There is a process to it, and that's what I want us to look at. Let's just get that to open, trying to get that to open. 1 minute, please. Trying to get that to open. Trying to get that to open, please. So please. Okay, it's open. Yeah, so I'll share it now. All right, can you see my screen? Okay. Now. So how do we secure consulting assignments? How do we secure consulting assignments? There are essentially several ways of doing it. Number one is what we call bidding public sector, building for public sector, whereby you are bidding for consulting assignments. Bidding in the public sector. And I'll use an example. Let me go there. Lagos State Procurement. Okay. So there's what we call public procurement. Public procurement. These are public agencies or government agencies that allow you to bid for consulting assignments online. They are called public procurement agencies. And I've gone to one, which is Lagos State in Nigeria. And there are several. I know that every country has, every region, every province has. This is just one way. So when you go to their website, please, you are encouraged to register. You register, you can see here, can you see contractor registration? Once you register as a contractor and you specify the area that you want to register, you need to specify the area you want to register. In most cases, they will separate it as consulting, but however they defined it, there is always an opportunity to specify where to or how to register. Okay, so register first. And the thing is, once you now register, every consulting assignment that they have that's relative to or related to your area of interest will be sent to you. Every consulting assignment that is relative or has to do with your consulting assignment will be sent to you. So it's always advisable that please, please, please look for this kind of opportunities within your area. Always look for this kind of opportunities within your area, and you register. Once you register, every assignment that has to do with your registration or with your interest will be forwarded to you. Every assignment that has to do with your interest would always be forwarded to you. So it's very critical that you register as such. Register with that. So go online, go and look for the relevant agency that you have in your territory that covers what you do. Please register and then submit. Once you register and submit, then any consulting assignment that they post, any ongoing consulting assignment that is available, once it's available, it will be sent to you and inviting you to bid or to compete for that consulting assignment. So that's one major way through which we get consulting assignments. That's one major way through which we get consulting assignments. So I'll recommend that very strongly to you to look for and to register within your territory or within your country. So please, that's very, very critical. Okay. Another way, and this is quite popular, of securing consulting assignment is basically by speculating, by bidding, by sending out invitation to companies that you are offering consulting assignments. That's another way you can actually win consulting assignments. And the challenge I have with that is you are basically sending out, I mean, I've done it before. I will send out like 100 consulting bids, or send it to about 100 companies, asking them if they need consulting solutions. Of course, they turn around and the result on that was very, very low. Not many people were willing to listen. So it's just by sending out consulting proposals. The thinking then was by the time you send out 100, at least a certain number will respond. But one of the ways that you can do that is you can still do that. I'm not saying don't do that, but do what we call targeted and researched proposal. What do you mean by targeted and researched? You understand the company, you know what they're going through, you've done your research, you know their business issues, and then you can now put together a consulting proposal to solve their problem. That is much more relevant. I remember a bank in Nigeria that we approached. We knew their problem. And so we put together a proposal to solve the problem. And so such proposals have higher chances of success than just blindly sending out 100 proposals, hoping one or two would work. I remember doing this in 2013, send out about 100 proposals. And last year, I got one response out of 100. I think maybe you just saw the proposal somewhere. I said, let's contact this person if they want to recruit. And I was like, we sent this proposal over 10 years ago. They said, well, they were not ready. We are ready now. So I find out sending out mass proposals does not work. I would rather suggest to you try and get a company, understand the company that has a business need, or you have a product that you have that is unique to you, and you think this product will help your client. I suggest that you send that product directly to the client. This is a proposal of what we have. This is a proposal of a problem that we can solve. How can we help you? Now, when you are sending out proposals, there are some 10 key things I would always recommend when you are sending out proposals. 10 key things. And I want to go over those 10 things now. Number one, when you are sending out proposals that are research-based, having understood the problems of the client, number one, focus on the needs of the client. Focus on the needs of the client. Basically, your major attention is on the client. Number two, always demonstrate your understanding of the problem. When we demonstrate understanding of the problem, they are basically saying, we know where you are going. We know what you want to achieve. This is how the problem started. And this is the impact of the problem on your business. Okay? So by doing 1, 2, 3, and 4, I've talked about impact now. Not just talk about the problem, your understanding of the problem, your insights in the client's market. So if you're talking about writing a proposal to a bank, you talk about where the bank is relative to other banks and how the problem is impacting them. Please, this is very, very crucial. It works all the time. Focus on the client. You understand the client's need. Demonstrate your understanding of the problem. That because of this situation, you cannot do ABC. Because of this situation, this is what is happening. It is insight into the market. And then you do your impact analysis. If we don't solve this, this is what will happen. But if we solve this, this is what will happen. That's what clients want to see. Very, very important that we're able to do that in our proposals. Not just writing proposals for the sake of proposals. We're writing it because we've identified what the problems are and how to solve the problem. Okay? Any question, please? Sorry, my screen keeps going to another screen. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to turn off all screens so that it's only your screen. Please, what are you seeing? Because it's not showing me what you're seeing. Please, what can you see? It's not showing me. Please, what is your screen?
Proposal contest, 10 strategies.
Okay, good. Because it wasn't showing me here. Then, once you've done all of that, that could be your introduction when you're writing a proposal. That could be your introduction. You understand the client, you understand the problem, you understand the client's market, you do your competition analysis, and then you do your impact analysis. Because of these problems, this is where the company is. This is how it's affecting the company. You can do some predictive analysis. You can do some research and all of that to get that information. Then number 5 is very critical. Having identified the problem, you are now saying that you can provide their desired solution. Now, this is key. You are not talking about the how. we are talking about the what. Many proposals have included the how. If you send me a proposal that includes the how, I might be tempted to go ahead because you've told me the solution. Why do I need you? So be very careful when you are sending out proposals. You only talk about what needs to be done by way of solutions, what the solutions that they need, not the how. Okay, not the how. And then your number 5 is talking about the desired solutions. And then number 6 is the results your interventions will bring about. The results your intervention will bring about. The number 7 is your approach, your framework, your process. How do you intend to go about this step by step? Consultation, invitation, research, interview. You do all of that without saying what you are going to do at every step. Basically say, this is what we'll do, not how you will do it. Please always remember this. This is what we'll do, not how. That's your number 7. Then number 8 is your evidence of competency. That we always suggest that putting your certificate here, putting your certificate from the School of Consulting. These are your evidence of competency. If you have other certificates, other training that you can put it there. And then number 9, sample clients, those that we have worked for in the past. Examples of our clients in the past. Somebody says to me, but what if I'm just starting out as a consultant? Not a problem. Even if you are being an employee capacity, anything that you have done that is similar to that, you can put it there. Even in employment now, whatever you do as a consultant, you are doing it as an internal consultant. Even though they don't call you that name, you're an employee, you are consulting for a company in your employment situation. Secondly, you can look at other assignments that you have done that can help you. In fact, one of the things we talk about that we advise before you even start a consultancy, find some projects to do on pro bono. When I say pro bono, you don't necessarily collect money, but you do the assignment, you solve the problem, you write a report because you know where you're going. So even if you don't get paid for it, that's not a problem. Find a local problem, provide a solution, have evidence that you have done consulting for them, so that in the future, when you're looking for consulting assignments, you won't be struggling to find evidence. So please, it's very critical that you have evidence, whether from your past employment or from pro bono voluntary work that you do. And those are your sample clients. Then finally, never end a proposal without invitation to further discussion. We are open to invitation for further discussion. We are happy to make a presentation to you on this. We're happy to send you additional materials. Either way, always end your proposal with an invitation. An invitation to continue further discussion. Okay, an invitation to continue further discussion. This slide is not showing very well, but what this slide entails is that your proposals nowadays are not just letters, are not just texts. Proposals nowadays are in form of graphics, in form of video, in forms of virtuals. So for those who have had access or who need access to the site, I'll go there now and show you sample consulting proposals that we have that you can access on the website. So on the School of Consulting website. So I'll go there now. And I'll use that opportunity again to show you how you can log into the School of Consulting website to access the resource area. So you log in, as you can see here, I'm trying to log in. So you come to the website, www.schoolofconsulting.com. You come to the website, you go to log in there. And then sign up with your email. Yeah. But because I've already signed in, I'll just go to login. So it says log in with your email. My email comes up, I log in. Once you've logged in.
We are not seeing that screen.
Oh, sorry. Thank you for letting me know. Let me start again. So you come to, I think some people have done it, not everyone has done it. So you come to www.schoolofconsulting.com and you come to the right here, you can see login. Yeah. Click on login and then sign up with your email if you have not signed up. If you are signed in, simply go to login. That is login there and then log in with email. So this is my email because I'm already on the system. I'm logged in straight away. Okay, I'm logged in straight away. Sorry, I just lost that screen again. I don't know why I keep losing my screen. Just a minute, please. I lost that screen. Yeah. Yeah. So you come in here, either you sign up or you log in. Because I'm already signed up, I log in. Okay. So I log in, and then you can see here, my name comes up there. So I'm already logged in. So what you need to do is you go to, you go there, click on it, and open it. You open it there, or you come to resources, and double click on resources. So I'm just showing you different ways you can access the file area. So come to consulting resource and double click on it, and it will bring you to all the resources. These are the resources for the course. These are the resources for the course. So to access the resource for the course, click on Certificate in Consulting Practice. Click on this. I've clicked on that, and all the materials comes up. All the materials that we talked about, the 900-page book that you are asking for, Pastor Rudolph, is here. That is it there.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah, that's the book there. The consulting toolkit is there. I wanted to show you sample consulting proposals. So there are sample consulting proposals there that you can go and look at. I think we have about 2 there. Can you see my screen?
Sure.
Good. So this is a sample proposal. Always have 2, when you are sending out a proposal, send 2 documents. Your corporate profile and a proposal for a specific proposal to that problem. I repeat, when you are sending out proposals, send out 2 documents. Your corporate profile summarizes everything you have done, summarizes your experience and everything. But the specific proposal addresses the specific problem you are trying to deal with. Yeah, please always remember that. Don't send out your corporate proposal alone. Yes, Rudolph?
I have a question, and this is how it is. What if we are just starting consulting? How do you come up with this kind of profile to show what you have done? I know you talked about pro bono, you know, but you want to engage some serious people. How do you do that?
If you don't have anything to show as experience, there's nothing you can send to them. And that's what I'm saying. The best you can do is everything you've done, whether you've done it pro bono, you've done it in voluntary capacity, put it together. That's all you have. That's all you have. And that's why I even said, take that extra step to deliver a project, whether it's voluntary or you are paid for, that will give you an experience you can boast of in the future. Or when you're looking for work, you can reference it. If you don't have, you don't have. You can't create what you don't have. But what I'm saying is try and do something, try and work on a project so that when you are putting together a profile, you have something to put forward. Does it make sense?
Noted. Noted. Thank you.
Yeah, so please always do that. So don't worry about the fact that you are doing it, they're not paying you. You know where you are going. You need it. So for someone like me, it's not a problem. But I didn't start with all of this. I started from ground zero. But one of the things I did was when I was going to start out as a consultant, I made references to relevant things I did in my workplace. I did a lot of work on project management. So when I was going to start as a consultant, I referred to it. I didn't even have the idea then of, let me go and do pro bono. But because I'd done work under my employer that were relevant to what I was going to consult in, it was easier for me in that sense. I was able to refer to the assignments I'd done in my workplace as my previous experience. And so all I needed was just one consulting experience to add to those experiences, and then I started building my profile. So it's critical that, yes, we may not have the experience, but don't just wait there. I don't have experience and then I can't apply. Deliver a project, one or two, pro bono, whether they pay you or not. Get them to reference it to confirm that you did that. Have a contract, even though it's pro bono. These are things, and then have a report. These are things you can use in the future as experience, okay? So the other documents there I wanted to show was, so beyond the generic profile, you can now have a specific, can you see this? No, you can't see it. You can now have a specific document that you are sending in for the proposal, which is another I'm showing. All of these materials are online. They are on the site. Please go there and look at them, download them. This is a proposal. So you can see proposal highlights, introduction about the company, the project approach, the methodology, the deliverables, the professional fees, about us, clients, contacts. All those things I told you about, those 10 things, they're all here. Okay? They're all here. So you can down introduction, what is corporate social responsibility, how it affects ABICO, the impact on ABICO if they don't meet that. Everything is there. What they are, the problem they are trying to address, everything is in there. The approach that we would adopt, everything is in there. This is an example. The stages of the project, how we'll carry out the assignment is here. And then the results that we'll get them, everything is in there. And the timeline, the structure is all in there. How much we're going to charge them is all in there. What we need about us, the people that we have worked for is all in there. Okay? So always have your corporate profile and the proposal that you are sending to the client. Okay? Any question, please, on that? So please, please, please. Now, once you have secured consulting assignment, there are other things you can do once you are with the client. There's what we call upselling. Upselling. What is upselling? You can tell us what upselling is. Upselling. Sorry, all of this, I'm just trying to get to a page. Upselling. What is upselling? What is upselling? Who knows what upselling is?
I think I can give it a shot.
Yes, please go ahead.
Hi, everyone. It's assuming you had already given that you can do basics like 1, 2, 3. So upselling is you're giving more. You're adding that I can do this extra in addition to what I had initially identified as the problem.
Okay, good.
So you're giving additional more what you can do.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Dr. Senia. So, I mean, who has ever gone to McDonald's or KFC before? Have you ever gone to McDonald's or KFC? Hello, I believe everyone might have gone. When you go there, they will say this portion is X amount. But if you buy a bigger portion, if we add a little more, like Dr. Senia is saying, if we add a little more, marginal increase. If you pay us an extra $50, we can give you a larger or more solution. But we can still do this one that you have asked for. But if you had a little bit, we can give you additional solution. It is called upselling. It is assumed that you have sold already, but you are increasing what the clients may be able to buy at a slightly extra cost. It's called upselling. Okay? There's a similar one I don't want us to mix up. It's called cross-selling. Cross-selling. What cross-selling means is you are already providing a type of solution, and they are very happy with your service. So in this case, look at the example. maybe you're already recruiting for them. Maybe you've been recruiting them for about 6 months, 1 year. And they turn out to you and say, Pastor Smith, can you offer, or you turn out to them and say, by the way, there are other services we can offer you. This is not an increment in the size of the service, which is upselling, but this is introducing another complementary service to the client. And so you can introduce 2 more, 3 more, 5 more, depending on the relationship and how long you'll be working with them. But it's always best not to introduce more than 3 different services. Not more than 3 different services. It's called cross-selling. Any question on that, please? It's called cross-selling. So that is called cross-selling. Please, do you understand the difference between cross-selling and upselling? Do we understand the difference, please?
Understood.
Fantastic.
Understood, sir.
Okay, everybody understand that? Between cross-selling and upselling. Okay. Now, once you have, hold on, please. I talked about the contract. Once you have sent out the proposal, yeah. And then they've agreed to terms, your proposal, they've agreed to terms. You know what I said earlier? Always have what we call out of scope. Okay? Out of scope, very critical. Yeah. And your agreement, your contract agreement covers these 4 things. Once you have sent out the proposal, they've agreed. These 4 things are very critical when you are doing your contracting. Number 1 is called the terms of reference, the consulting engagement process, which will lead to the terms of reference. The terms of reference, we like, is your contract. And within that terms of reference, these 4 things are very critical. These 4 things are very critical. Okay? These 4 things are very critical. The consulting engagement process. Number 1, what we understand the problem to be as a consultant. So your contract, please let it be clearly stated out what you understand the problem to be and what the client is seeking. That's your number 1. The solution and objective of the consulting assignment, very critical. Number 2, having understood what the problem is, what is your process, your solution approach? Define your solution approach. What we will do. Please, it's very critical. Your solution approach, what we will do. And then number 3, your deliverables. So number 1, your understanding of the problem. Number 2, your approach to the problem solving. Number 3, your deliverables. The deliverables to the client's problem. And number 4, your costs, how much you're going to charge, what is not involved, what is scope, what is not in scope. Yeah, so this consulting engagement, you are doing all of this before you start the consulting assignment. All of this must be in place. Okay, that must be in place. So assuming you've done all that, one of the things the client might ask you is they want to see your contract. They want to see a contract from you, or they send you a contract. Now remember this, anybody that writes the contract always writes it to their benefit. If the client is sending you the contract, the chances are they have written it for their benefit. So be very careful when a client sends you a contract. Likewise, and that's the reality, when you put together a contract and you send it to a client, you are likely to put favorable terms for yourself. So about 2 days ago, precisely, I had a client say to me, prepare an agreement and service level agreements. Prepare an agreement, a contract with a service level agreement. They asked me to prepare it. Guess what? I'm going to share it with you now, and I'll discuss it. And I'll tell you what's key about it. In fact, one of the things they came back to me was somebody else was offering less that I was going to charge them. I was going to charge them 17.5%. Somebody was going to charge them 15%. So actually, I started by saying I was going to charge them 20%. They said I should bring it down, that somebody else was charging 15%. Most times, we will jump at that 15%. Don't. Especially if your terms, your service level agreements, you are confident of it that nobody can beat it. So I said, you know what, I'm not going to go to 15%. I'll charge you 17.5% because I was sure of what I'd put in my SLA. I'm going to share it with you now. I put in my service level agreement that nobody could beat in the industry. So when they compared it, they said, even this man is charging more, but his service level agreement, what he's promising us, nobody else can meet what he's promising us. So even though he's charging us more, let's go for him. It was a risk, but he always pays off for me because I offer more value in my assignments. So let me show you what I sent to them. Let me try and call it up. Where is it now? Let me try and call it up for you so we can look at that together. Let's try and call that up. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Just a minute, please. I'm trying to call up yeah, that's it. Let me try and, yeah, that's it. Is it clear enough or I make it bigger?
It's clear.
Let me try and make it slightly bigger. So what can you see?
We can see clearly. It's okay.
Okay, so
recruitment agreement and service level agreement, SLAs.
Fantastic. SLA.
Yes.
So 2 days ago or 3 days ago, you can see the date. 27th of March 2004, this company approached me, blah, 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 so that and they said to me, send it. So because they've asked me to put it together, I will put in some things that will give me a competitive advantage because I know the industry. I know what people offer. So the other thing is you need to know your industry. You need to know what your competitors are offering. So my first SLA is the response time. This service provider, that is myself, we would acknowledge the receipt of your new recruiting request within 1 hour. Can you see that? Within 1 hour. Can you see that? Yeah, as long as it's within working hours, within 1 hour. That is one competitive advantage. Many people, guess what, will say within 24 hours. Hello? Many people will say 24 hours. So this is the first advantage. Yeah? Okay. Then candidate sourcing. The service provider shall commence candidate sourcing activity upon receipt and shall provide three qualified candidates per position within 2 business days. Most of my competition will say 3 qualified candidates within a week. Can you see that? So the advantage I'm offering here is we will do this within 2 days. Yeah. Assessment of the candidates. Again, 2 days. Now, don't promise what you can't deliver, please. So we will look for candidates, we will assess them, we will do background checking, we'll do their medicals, we'll do their onboarding, and then another major one is this. This is another major competitive advantage that we built into it. Replacement of non-performing candidates. If in the event that we recruit people and the person is not, we recruit the person and the person cannot perform, you know, people embellish their CV, they tell you all manner of things, they start working, realize that they don't have the experience. We promise them that within 7 days of the employment, we would replace the candidates, not just replace the candidates, at no costs. At no costs, you can see it here, to the client. Yeah. This addition ensures that the service provider is accountable for the performance of the candidate they place and provides assurance to the client that non-performing candidates will be replaced without incurring additional costs. Very few people out there offer this kind of guarantee. So I'm trying to show you how with your contracts, you can even charge more because you are offering more. Your risk is greater. Another thing I offered them is this. See, in consideration of the service provided on this agreement, the client shall pay the service provider as follows: 25%, although they actually eventually submitted 20%. 25% of the annual value of the gross salary as fee payable, structured as guarantee to the client. See, the structure is another guarantee. 60% when the person that we recruit starts, and 40% after passing probation. So you can see why they will look at this agreement and say, look, this guy is offering us a better agreement than the other guy because of some of these guarantees. I know the industry, I know how people work, I know how people think, and I know what they don't offer. So I offer what they don't offer, but I charge more. Am I making sense? I charge more. So instead of paying me 100% of the fees when the candidate starts, which is the tradition, that is the norm in recruitment consulting. Once you find the candidate, the client is obliged to pay 100%. I'm saying, you know what? You don't have to pay me 100%. Pay me 60%. Guess what? Even 60% of whatever the fees is almost 100% of some other people who are charging 10, 12, 15%. But they like it when they see it. That means if I don't perform, I won't get my 40%. So if say for instance, after 6 months, I still don't find them a good candidate, I will lose 40%. Well, this is what this is saying. It's a guarantee to the clients. Yeah. So underpayments, on so many things you can build into that contract, but when they send a contract to you, you can build it in there. Yeah. And then this is term. This agreement shall commence on 27th of March and shall continue in effect until terminated by either party upon 30 days notice. It doesn't tell you where to terminate. So this agreement can go on for 10 years. And you see that there? It can go on for 15 years unless terminated by 30 days notice. So they can also think it's a 1-year contract. It's not a 2-year contract. It is an indefinite contract. Can you see that there? Termination for clause is we have not performed and they have written 14 days notice. So we have not performed, they cannot just stop it. They must give written notice. Yeah. Yeah, and then the standards, standard requirements there. This was only done on the 27th. This was Thursday also. Thursday or Wednesday, I can't remember. So always make sure you have a contract, your SLA, your service level agreement, your deliverables, what you will deliver. And back it up with guarantees. Promise things you can do. Don't promise what you can't deliver. I can deliver on this. Why? Based on experience. Not many people have the experience I have. And hey, like I said, response times, most people say 24 hours. It's like standard. But I realized that if you say you can deliver within 1 hour and you can deliver 1 hour, you have a better chances. But let me put it this way. The faster you are able to respond to a client's request, the more likelihood that the client will give you that assignment. The faster you are able to respond to a client's request, the more likelihood the client will grant you that request. Because that request, at the point they are asking, it is very urgent. It is extremely urgent. So they are looking for somebody who can deliver solution and deliver it fast. That gives you competitive advantage. Please, I'm telling you things I've done that has worked. Whenever, remember this, whenever a client approaches you, they are likely to have approached 2, 3 other people. So while it's taking some a week to answer, 2, 3 days to answer, you have answered immediately. And guess what? You have answered immediately. They're not going to wait for the others before they start discussing. Because you answered immediately, they start discussing with you. So when the others answer after 2 days or 3 days, they have gone far in the negotiation with you. And so the others are playing catch up. So speed of response is always critical to win consulting assignments. Thank you, Rudolph.
Can I speak, please?
Yes, please. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm really getting value for this training. Okay, now let me, for the purpose of this class and others, I don't know, maybe it may be a private matter, but you can discuss that. I sent a proposal to a medium scale business, saying the service industry, okay, service and hospitality.
Yeah.
Now, I was the one that initiated the proposal. At the end of the day, the MD of the particular company is playing ball with me and has asked for further discussion. Okay. Now, the solutions I want to provide for them, I'm wondering, how do I tailor it in terms of this service level agreement or the contract is where? Because I can as well provide it to his competitors. They are not something I'm doing that is particularly unique to him, but they are something that is new to him. They are like a novelty to increase his business. I'm promising more like a promise. I'm promising 5x to 10x. And I know I can deliver because I was in that space for some years. Okay. Yes. I'm quite excited about the project. He is excited, but I've not told him everything I want to do for him, but he's ready to work with me. So I'm just wondering, how do I secure the contract such that he also can be confident so that I don't give it to his competitor? He has a lot of competitors around.
Okay, what I would say is this. I can't answer that question specifically. I don't know the details. Okay. But let me say this for the benefit of everybody. I think everybody in this class, they signed up for my support and mentoring. So what I would suggest is this. If you have any assignments, contracts you want to send out, let me know about it so that I can advise you specifically. And like you said, maybe something beyond this class. Once you are done, let's have a look. Then I can advise you because I know the specifics. And I'm saying this for everyone. Please, 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 I am your mentor. Run these things by me. By virtue of experience, I can tell you 1 or 2 things you can do that can help you. Almost guaranteed. Yeah, so please, not just to Pastor Smith, I'm addressing everybody. Please, when you are starting or you have started, you want to send a contract out, you want to make a proposal, I am there for you. Your success is my success, and that's what you are paying for. Run it by me so that you can get the benefit of this training. This training is not just the seminar that we're doing now. Part of this training is the physical hand-holding, the support that I can offer you. Take advantage of that, and that's what you are paying for. Please. Okay, so thank you. Let's talk after this. And if there's anybody else out there, maybe you have not started. Even when you start, we can go through the process. Okay, we can go through the process for you. Okay, all right. Thank you. So that's an example of an agreement that you can send to a client. Let's go back to the screen. Just keeps disappearing. I don't know why. Let's go back to our slide. Any questions so far, please? Any questions? Maureen, are you there? Any question? Dr. Sania?
I'm here. I'm good.
You are very quiet now.
I'm okay.
Okay, thank you, Maureen. Dr. Sania, are you there? Dr.
I'm
Sania,
okay.
you're okay. Fantastic.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm following.
Okay, Leslie, are you there?
Yes,
Leslie,
I'm here. I'm following as well. I'm
good.
here.
Dr. Ba, are you there? Dr. Ba, are you there?
Yes, doctor, I'm with you, sir.
Good. All right. Okay, now the other thing I want to touch on briefly is you need to define your own proprietary client engagement process, how we engage the clients, how we engage the clients. So as a consulting firm or as a consultant, you need to have your own proprietary method of engaging the client. When I say proprietary, it's original to you, the steps you take. And I have an example here. This person, this company, they call it dipping. Dipping. So the first thing they do, this is their process when a client, they're engaging a client. So you must have a framework. So develop your framework, your plan of implementation. Yeah. Your plan of implementation. This is 4 steps. Assessment of the current state. So the client says, we will assess your current state, we'll develop your future states, and then we'll come up with an implementation plan, and then we'll implement the plan. That's a framework. So likewise, I want to encourage you to think through of your delivery framework that you're going to be using. It gives clients confidence that you have a process, a well thought out process to your consulting. So the example we have here has what we call the 6 Ds, 6 Ds. So the first thing they say is discover. The first step in this company's consulting process is what they call discover or discovery. What they say they will do, they will identify the client's business objective, they will do background research, and then issues identification. 3 things they will do as part of their discovery process, their discovery stage. Yeah. So under discover, what does the client want? That's objective. Background research. I told you, never consult for a client without understanding the client. So they do their background research. That background research will cover the client's market, what the issues are, the impact on the business, the impact on competition. They will do all of that. And then identify all the issues, all the problems. Then they are saying the next thing they will do, they call it discern. Identify a strategic approach, basically solutions. Come up with solutions, but these solutions must align with the client's business goals. So they do a background research, do all the background search, come up with the issues, and then they run the issues by the client. This is our understanding of your problem. This is our approach. And does this approach align with where you are going? Is there an alignment? So what I'm saying is never start a consulting assignment without aligning your approach with what the client wants to achieve. Never do it. Never work independent of the client. And the best way to do is to align your approach, your solutions with where the client is going, basically. So once that has been done, they said they will develop a plan, maybe a communication plan, develop a plan. Yeah. Direct, you implement the plan. Yeah. Implement, this is implementation. Implement the plan. Results, demonstrate quality outcomes. Demonstrate quality outcomes. And then deliver. Assess outcomes, that's the result. Based on our results, does it meet the whole objective while we are doing this? Always ask yourself that question. Does the result meet the objective? So you can develop your framework, but 4 things are consistent in whatever framework you discover you want to design. And those 4 things are what we mentioned earlier. Yeah, these 4 things. What is the problem? Yeah, how you would approach the problem, the results, and then the costs. So develop your own consulting framework, or what we call the client engagement process. Okay, develop your own. And when you are even bidding for work, you can include that there, your client engagement process. Any question, please? Any question, please? I want to stop here and then, no, let me add more to this. There's one slide I'll add to it, yeah? Because there's what we call managing. So you have secured the consulting assignment. You prepare for the consulting assignment, and then you now deliver it. So those things that you must do as part of your preparation are these things I've talked about. But there's one more slide I want to share with you. One more slide I want to share with you. As part of preparing for the consulting assignment. Yeah, one more slide. Yeah, that's it. So remember the story so far. We understand what consulting is. We understand how we need to, please, that module 2 is very critical. And please consult me for number 2, please, please, please. Many people don't do this. Consult me for model 2. How to, the business model, your business model. Your business model is original to you. And your business model will give you competitive advantage. So it's very critical that you and I sit down and work out your business model. Part of what I'm doing is working with you to identify where you have competitive advantage in your industry. When you have competitive advantage in your industry, it is easier than trying to struggle in highly competitive. So let's do that exercise. It's one-on-one at the end of the training. That's what we did in Module 2. Module 3 that we started by looking at today is how do we secure consulting assignments? And when we have secured it, what are the things to put in place before we deliver the assignment? So the final module, well, the 4th module is how to deliver the consulting assignment. The bonus module is module 5, how to grow your consulting business. But I call it bonus because not everybody has started. So module 3 is what we're looking at today, which is how to secure consulting assignments. And after you have secured the consulting assignment, there are some things you must put in place, which is your terms of reference and what I'm about to touch on now. Once we finish this, the module 4 is now how to deliver the consulting assignment. All these are process-based. So this one that I'm talking about now wants to focus on, apart from your contract, the other things you need to put in place before you start the consulting assignment, okay? And it's called your implementation process. There are 9 things that must be in place before you deliver the consulting assignment. 9 things. Number 1, the process. So when I talk about the process, I'm talking about the engagement process. Yeah, so that's where that came from. So you need to discuss with the client, this is the assignment and this is the process. And it's always good, yeah, to have a framework of your process, how you deliver your consulting assignment as a consultant. And this framework is basically all of this. I hope you are following me. Your framework is basically all of this. Yeah, this is your framework. See, consulting engagement process. Yeah, that's it. So that's your consulting engagement process. And it's the first thing you do before you start the consulting assignment. Now we have assumed that you have secured the assignment. So the first thing you talk about is the process. Yeah, the process. And you can represent that with your framework, your proprietary framework as a consultant that you have put together. That's the first thing. Then the next thing is your role. Now, at the end of the day, a consultant is a project manager. So what is your role in all of this? How are you going to deliver on your role? You are the center of it. There's the problem, there's the client, and then you are the service provider. That is your role. How are you going to deliver on your role? That is where your SLA comes in. Yeah? Your SLA is a promise of how you deliver on your role as a consultant. Yeah? That is your SLA. The other thing that you do that is very critical is the planning and mentoring. At times, this comes under project management, but it's always good to have a plan of action, that is linked to this process, and then how you're going to monitor it. So your plan of action is a function of project management. You are talking about deliverables, you are talking about timelines, we are talking about stage delivery, we are talking about outputs. Maybe the project is for 12 months, and then you have timelines of 12 months every month. What are you going to deliver every month, or is it every quarter? So there's a plan, and once you start carrying out the assignment, how do you intend to monitor it? How do you intend to monitor the plan? We're going to be meeting with the client every month or meeting the client every quarter. How do you monitor it? How do you ensure that you keep to the plan? You know, the plan is like a forecast. So you can't just plan without monitoring it. You begin to monitor your plan. You begin to monitor your plan when you implement. This is part of implementation. Plan monitoring is part of implementation. You cannot have a plan. You can have a plan and nothing happens. But once you start implementing, you've got to monitor that plan, because the plan is a forecast. So when you start implementing, that is when the rubber meets the road. It's now a reality. This is our plan. A plan is like a budget. This is what we are budgeting. And then you are looking at the budget. What are the actuals? So it is the monitoring that will demonstrate the actuals of this plan. What is the reality? So we have a plan, but what is happening? Yeah, but what is happening in the real sense? Okay. Have I showed you a project plan before in this class? Please respond to me. Have I showed you a project plan? Okay.
No.
Let me quickly show you one. Please, let me quickly show you one. Let me quickly show you one project plan. What's this woman's name? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, good. Let me quickly show you one project plan. Good. Good. Show you a project plan. For every consulting assignment, you must have a project plan. This is a project plan using Excel. And before I forget, you can also use, I'll come back to this, you can go to projectmanager.com. It's a good resource for project planning. And one approach that we have agreed on as consultants. As consultants, we are project managers. Okay? So I'll go back to where the plan I wanted to show you. But one good tool that you can use, or one good place where you can get project planning material for free is Project Manager, projectmanager.com. So you can see. So you can see, can you see my screen? And you can get free trials, please. Yeah. You can get free materials to run or to build your projects. Yeah. Okay. Projectmanager.com. Please go to projectmanager.com. Let's go back to, yeah. Okay, so this is a plan. WD there stands for work day. Work day. Work day is a major software that we use in housing. Sorry, in HR. So this was, you can see the dates, 13th of October, 2014. This is a workday plan, actions and timeline. This was a project I implemented for the London Stock Exchange in 2014. So your plan would have high-level deliverables, which are here in blue. They are in blue. Your high-level deliverables are in blue or in stages. So all the blue are the stages, yeah, the major stages. And under each blue, as you can see, there are deliverables, what needs to be done. This is a project plan I'm showing you. What needs to be done, when it needs to be done, when it needs to be finished. This is a plan. So you write this plan before you start. It is when you start to compare forecasts, that is your plan, and deliverables. This particular exercise, ongoing data cleansing activity, was meant to start on the 23rd of June, 2014, and is for 5 days on the 28th of June, sorry, for a month and a week. That's the assignment. That's the timeline given for that assignment. Yeah. And because it's been delivered now, your status will show whether it has been closed or it is still ongoing. That's your status. So your project plan is basically what you forecast to do and what you have done. So your project plan is a guide that breaks down every activity. Yeah. Does that make sense? That's your project plan. Another, let me see if I can find another example. There's another example I think I did for project plan Novartis. Please, I'm giving you invaluable insight into what happens on projects. I'm not talking theory here. That was London Stock Exchange in 2014. I'm giving you another project I worked on in 2019 with Novartis. Novartis is a big pharmaceutical company. I worked on this project in the Czech Republic, the former Czechoslovakia. I worked on this project with them. This is their own project plan. I'm not sure I'm sharing. Let me share again. Okay, I'm sharing actually. Again, you can see, hold on. You can see their project plan. This may make more sense. Approval, every aspect of the project, approval, planning and design, planning, analysis and design is 1 day. And these are all the activities that will take place under this one, under the planning, analysis and design. These are all the activities. You list everything down. Then after that has been done, some of these activities can run at the same time. So planning, analysis and conceptual design is from Friday, sorry, the 3rd of March, 1st of March 2019, 1 day. Design, detailed design and content development to 1 day. So they are running at the same time. Yeah. They are running at the same time. Resource name, who is responsible? They write it there. Data privacy. So all of this configuration, all of these things are done in 1 day. All of these activities, because they are done by different people, yeah, are done in 1 day. Yeah. Okay, sorry. And then training. In fact, I have a better plan, which I'll see. Let me see if I can show that better plan than this one. There was an upgraded plan to this. Let me try and find it. There was an upgraded plan. Project plan, know what it is. This one. I'm just trying to see if I can show you a better plan. Good, I think I've seen it. Just bear with me. Good, I think I have a better one. Good, 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 good. Okay. Yeah, can you see it now? It's a better plan, a more detailed plan. Yeah. So good, 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 good. So you can see here, fantastic. I even like this better. Good. The scope, yeah, the approvals, 21 days, scope, 41 days of the entire project. That's 41 days. Approval, planning, 20 days, timeline, 10 days, all of that. All the activities. The major activities are on the left here. All the major activities that will carry out. And you see, that's the first column on the left. That's the major activity that will carry out. Yeah. So we break down every aspect of the assignment. The start date, the end date. And guess what? See the resources here. So this is PM. This is Shola Ajani here. That's the PM. The project manager. So everybody has their own assignment. Everybody has their own assignment. Everybody. So in terms of building a team, identify project team, project manager. Everybody has their own assignment. So that's a project plan. Start to finish. Next to this project plan is now measuring how people are performing. Yeah, over the time. You can see that. That's the performance measurement at the right time that I'm scrolling through. Like I said, I can help with all of this. It may sound, if it sounds too strange to some people, please bear with me. This is a working document that the consultant will share with the client. And this is usually you, the consultant, that will put it. It doesn't have to be this detailed. It's just a plan that shows what you intend to do, the work breakdown, your timelines, and who is responsible for what. Yeah? Who is responsible for what. So that is your project plan. That's your project plan. You must always have a project plan. Another key thing is how you're going to train people. If you're doing a change management, whereby, so what's your plan to train? If it's an improvement, it's a new solution, you've got to build in a training plan. So that you can transfer the skills and knowledge. You've got to build it in. You know? And then how do you manage this change? All of this is the change. How do you manage it? How do you manage the change process? And like I just mentioned, it's a project. How do you manage it? How do you put together your project plan? How do you manage the risk? All of these things must be clearly stated to the clients before you start. Somebody will say to me, no, you cannot go wrong. But what if it goes wrong? So there's a risk management strategy you must have. And risk management strategy is basically 4 things. Let me go there. Your risk management strategy is 4 things. Yeah. This is your risk management strategy. Your risk management strategy is basically identifying what can go wrong. Let's just use this one. What can go wrong? And coming up with solutions. So the first thing we call it risk identification. This is your risk management strategy. Risk identification. Write down all the threats and risks you can think of, and even ask from stakeholders. So the first thing is risk identification. Then the next thing is what we call risk assessment. So you identify the risk, and your risk assessment is on a scale of 1 to 10, what is the likelihood of this risk happening? And if it happens, what is the impact? So your risk assessment comes up with 2 answers. Number 1, what is the likelihood of this risk happening? Okay, for instance, we're building a house. The first thing you do is you identify the risk. What is the risk that is likely to happen? Building collapse is a risk. Is a risk. Assessment, is it likely to happen? We've done all the right measurements, we've used all the right mixtures, we've done the right foundation. The chances of it happening is 2 or 3. The fact that you have even scaled it 2 or 3 means it can happen. But what is the likelihood of it happening? You don't know. You also rate it. So question now is, in the event that it happens, what are you doing to mitigate against it? If it happens, what do you do? And that's where mitigation comes in. So identification of the risk is what is likely to go wrong. Number 2, in the event that it happens, what is the likely chance it happens? And part B of number 2 is if it happens, what is the likely impact? So even if the likelihood of it happening is 1, the fact that it happens, the impact will be high. The fact that it happens, building collapse, the impact is high. So the question now is, in the event that it happens, and this applies to any project, any consulting assignment that you do, you key in a risk management process. Now I'm telling you what people don't do unless they've come through this kind of training in their consulting proposals. So when you're putting all those things, your consulting proposal will stand far ahead of anybody as long as they don't have this kind of training. Yeah. So in the event that it happens, what are the mitigations you can put in place? Insurance is a good mitigation. So you've got to have insurance. Good quality control is a good mitigation. You got to show that you have put things in place in the event that it happens. Implement process change to reduce the impact. Yeah. And then number 4, you monitor it. Whether it happens or not, you document it, you monitor it. And if it happens, you report it. So your reporting is every time you meet with your client, you are touching on the risk. These are the risks you have identified. Nothing that happened so far. We are managing it. We are watching it. But we are not just implementing the assignment. We are watching out for the risk and managing the risk. Okay? So that's very important element of your consulting assignment. That's your risk management process. Never ignore that. And part of your quality, part of all of this is the quality control. Okay? Is the quality controls. Again, I'll touch on that now. There are 3 things under quality control. Number 1, what are the standards that we have agreed? So what is the standard we have agreed for this project? What are the deliverable standards? Then number 2, how are we reporting compliance to this standard? So not only do you have standard, you are reporting it to the clients. So your project has standards. These are what we're going to do. In fact, your timeline is a standard. Once you say you're going to do it in the timeline, that's the standard. And how are you reporting the standard? Anytime you write your project reports or you meet with your clients, you are reporting the standard. The standard on deliverables. Are we meeting those standards or not? That is reporting. What are the standards and how are you reporting it? And then number 3, part of quality control is if there are any deviations from those standards, if there are deviations, what do you do? The standard is the plan. The plan is the standard, sorry. How you intend to implement is a standard. So if you are deviating from it, how are you capturing those deviating? And how are you reporting it back to the client? These are essential elements of what you need to have in place, yeah, before you start. And finally, this speaks to sustainability. This last one, sustainability. So after we have finished the assignment, what are the things that must be in place to sustain the assignment? Again, that is a whole your own responsibility. For instance, we want to change the culture. We want to change from using typewriters to computers. Or we want to stop writing letters. I want to use email, a lot more email. It's not just good enough to implement the change. As a consultant, you must think about sustainability. Sustainability means you have carried out this change now. And in 3 months' time, have we really changed? Or people have gone back to the old ways of doing things? Your sustainability links in with your project management, So when you're talking about sustainability, you are talking about change management. So it's critical that you're able to link your sustainability, because change management is about managing the change. Project management is about delivering the assignment. So give us an assignment, 3 months, we finish it. But change management is where there are changes required. Have people really changed? So we might have implemented the project to solve the problem, but are they really changed? The project is to manage it. So you can succeed in project management, but fail in change management. So as a consultant, it is having sustainability plans that would help you to achieve the change you require. Yeah. So consultant, we're not just concerned with deliver the project. A builder will build a house. He has delivered the project. He's successful. But then the proof of the house is the functionality of the house. So in delivering an assignment, it's not just we have completed the task for a consultant. So when we use the word fit for purpose, is it sustainable? Is it meeting the objective? Your assignment must always be fit for purpose, must meet the objective. And one of the things that can help is to have a change management plan. And a great part of change management is sustainability. Okay? Any question, please? Questions? Questions? Today, we have attempted to look at how do we secure consulting assignments. We have looked at the proposals. And one of the things I said to you about proposal is don't just send your company profile. Send a proposal that speaks directly to the assignment plus the company profile. And somebody asked, what if I don't have a company profile? This is a time to build that profile before you start looking for assignment. And if you have worked for someone before, you can use those experiences as references. And then you have, even if it's 1 experience or 2 experiences, do pro bono, solve problems for people, and then get them to reference the work that you have done. Whether you are paid or not, for now, you get paid later. But have something that you can reference to as experience. People want to see what you have done before, not just what you are capable of doing. And those, so to circumvent it, if you don't have anything, is try and get involved in some projects now, document it, get it signed up, let the client confirm, or if they don't confirm, have a report. Those kind of reports can show. I'm negotiating a contract now, and they were offering me some money. And I'm saying, no, I had this kind of money 10 years ago. And they were saying, really? Let's see the proof. And I called up a proof. I can show you. I called up a proof. I said, look, No, I'm not kidding you. Where did I put it? Yeah, where is it now? And so I called up a proof from 10 years ago that this is what I was paid. I can't seem to find it. Let's see this one. Yeah, this is it. I'm not sure you're seeing my screen. Are you seeing my screen? And I called up the proof that, guys, I'm not going to accept what you're offering me. I hand this, where's my screen? Hold on, please. So you must always have all of these, your documents handy. It could be 10 years down the line. I don't know. It could be, it could always come in handy. Yeah. I said, no. Can you see my screen? I said, this is my invoice. What date is there? What date is this? Hello? Are you with me?
2014. Yes,
Fantastic.
we are with you.
2014. I was billing.
October 2014.
That's the client, the London Stock Exchange. I was billing them £200 a day. Yeah. That was in 2014. So you cannot be offering me £300 now. No. This is what I billed them in 2014. That's London, that's the assignment I did. That's the London Stock Exchange. So you must always have all of this that you can refer to. Number of days, 13 days. You can see that. I billed them with the daily rate, £200 a day. That's in 2014. So you cannot be offering me $300 today. It's an insult to me. If I hand something like that 10 years ago, you simply cannot do that. So you need all of these things for bargaining, for negotiating. When you show this, when I showed it to them, they agreed to my rate. That's what I was asking for. Because like I said, they were offering me what I was being offered 10 years ago. I said, no, it's an insult to what I'm bringing to the table. I've done all of these things 10 years ago. So if you want me now, this is what you will pay. This is my going rate. And you must have evidence for it. You're not just asking for money. Have evidence to show that, look, this is what you want. And if you don't have all of these documents, you simply cannot do that. So it's critical that as consultants, so when they argue with me further, I said that, you know what, I'm not going to argue with you. These are my billings. These are my billings. That was in 2014. Showed you another billing. What year was this? 2018. 2018. If you think that one is too far, 2018. For a month, I was billing £6,000 in a month. You can see that £6,000 in a month and 1 week. That's what I built. So you need all of these things when you are negotiating your contract, when you are taking on a new assignment, so that people don't underprice you. Okay? So we've looked at how to secure consulting assignments and how to prepare. What are the things that must be in place before we start? Okay? Any question, please? Questions? Pastor Rube Smith, question, comments, learning takeaway for today? Yeah, Pastor Smith?
Okay, thank
Senior,
you.
you want to go?
Thank you so much. A lot to take away. It just brought a lot of clarity to what I'm already doing or about to do. Then I was going to ask a question, but you really answered it. You know, when you were talking about planning, your planning document, you know, I wanted to know whether it's internal or whether you share it with the client, but you already answered that. So by and large, I mean, I'm getting a very sound footing on going forward.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
I'm happy to hear that, sir. Thank you so much. Dr. Senia.
Okay, I think it's a lot to take for today. But I just had a clarification.
Mm.
From the project plan, looks like the standard billing is per hour, I guess. You
Yes,
bill
you
for
can
the
bill per
hours
hour.
you do?
It depends on what you agree with the clients.
Okay, and that takes me to the next question. So if you, in an event where you could have maybe 2-3 projects running at the same time, so then the whole measure is how the output, how many hours you can put, or how do you run when you have 2-3, like in the long term, when you have more than one client on board?
Well, you need a project team. You cannot do it by yourself.
Okay.
You simply need a project team. Right now, I've got this flow of consulting I'm running. I've got a project that I'm trying to negotiate. Then I've got the other one, the SLA. So I'm thinking I need a team. I need to put together my team. So you have a people that you only pay per project. You only pay them for, so don't keep a team. You can keep an admin person that just coordinates everything. But you can have a project person for each project. You are still the lead project manager. But if I'll be honest with you, there's no way you can be effectively running more than 2 projects by yourself. It is not possible. Okay. So when you have 3 projects or 3 clients that you are delivering to, you need people to work with you. Yeah.
Then my last concern, from your experience, do you normally ask for like a down payment, or it's on milestone?
Well, I mean, there are different plans you can have. But it's always good, especially for a client that you have not worked with before, to start with the payments before you start. It's always good. Okay? Because once you start to deliver, then you can do payments by milestones.
Okay.
So after every delivery, you make a payment. After every delivery, they make a payment. After every delivery, they make a payment. So if I thought they don't pay, you are only losing 1 payment, not all. Imagine if you have 5 milestones and you deliver all the 5 milestones that they have not paid. That means for those 5 milestones, you may not get paid. But if you have 5 milestones, you do milestone 1, they pay. And then you start milestone 2. Before you do milestone 3, ensure they are paid for 2. So if they don't pay for 2, you don't even start 3. So your only loss will be milestone 2 that they have not paid for. But if they want milestone 3, they should pay for 2. So you don't continue. Okay, let me continue. They'll pay. It's a risk. You just don't continue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Madam Leslie, are you there? Leslie, are you still there?
Yes, I am. A number of questions I would have loved to ask, but you have answered all, like where you said you don't give all your information when you're writing your proposal. You don't say how you're going to execute it. You just, give, some details, but you don't go in.
No.
You don't go further. And then I think Dr. Sena also raised an issue there, which you also answered. And then what else? Yeah, that's about it. I'm actually glad I took this. I'm taking this course. It's actually an eye opener for me, because I have made some small mistakes, in the past that this will help me to correct. Thank you.
Fantastic. Good feedback. Thank you. Dr. Ba, are you there? Samaila Ba? Is Samaila Ba there, please?
Yes, doctor. I'm with you,
yes,
sir.
Lenny, take away questions.
Well, thank you so much for the program. So far, so good. I've gotten quite enriched with so many information. Yes, yes. Although part of my question, the only question I have for now, because you have responded to some of my questions from the other participants, is with regards to the documentation. I believe you talked about the outside of work, outscope of work document?
Yeah, out of scope.
Out of scope, yes, out of scope. Thank you. So I wanted to just get more clarification about that specific documentation.
Okay, let me give an example. You have you are building a house, a 4-bedroom house.
Yes.
As a project, and in that plan, there's no guest toilets.
Okay.
Meanwhile, common sense tells you you can't have a 4-bedroom house or duplex and you have toilets in all the rooms, but no guest toilets. Common sense just says that, and the client says, and so that's the building plan that you have. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I can assure you, it will come to a point in that plan when somebody will say, hey, we forgot to include the guest toilets. Now, once you receive the plan from the onset, you need to look through the plan. Anything that is missing that they might ask for in the future, bring it up. And if they say, no, it's not part of it, that becomes out of scope.
Okay. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
So it's easy to identify what you would do in the contracts. But if there are things that you are not supposed to do, also specify it. It's called out of scope. That we are doing this, so we are not doing this. This is the things we are not doing. They are not within the scope of this assignment. That's what that means.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fantastic.
Yes. Very understood, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. I still don't know who Vivo is. Sorry. You want to ask any question, Vivo? I don't know how you crashed on the program, or maybe you're using a different system. Vivo, are you there? Vivo? Okay, we're not getting any response. All right. So thank you, everybody. We meet again next week. Same time next week. I will post this video. I'll post it on the group chat so that you can follow up. I have created a class group on YouTube that has the first 2 classes and this class. So if there's anything you need to go through, please do so. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Ask us to enjoy the rest of the evening. Leslie, I'll be speaking with you shortly. Leslie, are you there? Leslie, has Leslie gone? All right. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, I will talk to you shortly. Just thank you, Dr.
Okay,
Patrick
sir.
Smith, Dr. Sena, Madam Leslie, Dr. Ba. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy your weekend.
Bye.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.